You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking. You're always looking for and finding the good. We have found good in abundance. You have tuned in consciously and conscientiously to the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, and you are in for a treat today. Your world will be expanded. Your mind will be expanded. You'll be transformed by one of the most powerful, purposeful, pleasant people on the planet. And Natasha will be with us in just a few minutes. So you be happy, healthier, and wealthier because you tuned in today to the Joy of Living. And you know, you tuned in for one reason and one reason only. And it's the best reason in the whole world, because you care the most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U. And that's great, by the way, because when you're the best you make the world a better place. And you build more bridges, you create more harmony, you create more joy, happiness, peace, and love. And you know that on this show, we work with the three fundamentals of life. And these three fundamentals enable you to become happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? The three fundamentals, of course, are number one, life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number two happens. Now, in this case, a good number two. You go mad. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. You lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example, this show is being carried throughout the world, and you are joined at this very moment, by the way, by 348,613 people around the world. And I'm very honored and humbled that you do that, because we have anywhere from 325 to 330,000 people every show, and you're always inviting your family and friends. So by the time Natasha comes on, we'll have over 360,000 people. And of course, we keep growing week by week. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So this show is carried over the internet. So if you ask anybody, what does www stand for? Invariably, the title has to do with the internet. Now, factually speaking, they're correct. But in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, www stands for what a wonderful world. And what is a word, right? W-H-A-T-A. And whenever you hear the opening bars of that song, what a wonderful world, thank you to Louis Armstrong, Satchmo, for enabling it to go viral and not just touch millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet know that song, What a Wonderful World. When you hear the opening bars, what do you do right away? You can't help it, you smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you could ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life, because smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. Seeing miracles in life every day. So a quick story. Imagine the following. Standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. That was me. And in the evening, in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed. Not an automobile accident, not a spinal injury, a rare disease, which I never heard of the day before, took over my body and rendered me a quadriplegic. Quadriplegic means I was paralyzed, my neck down. Nothing in my body moved. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. 144 days in the hospital. 2 years in a hospital bed in my own home. I couldn't turn over by myself. 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, my hips, my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. I still can't walk up a stair by myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of this one word. Smile, seeing miracles in every day. Now, I'm back doing in-person events. Recently, I had an event with 1,176 people in the audience. And I'm telling you a story about Barry Shore and about Smile. And people raising their hands saying, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours, but I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water to drink, food to eat, a place to sleep, family, friends? Every single one of those is a miracle. And what's the proof? Simplest proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or you're listening, you didn't. You have an obligation to live life to the full, to live life exuberantly. I can tell you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago. She says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about smile sounds the same. Why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Out of the mouth of babes. But what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world she wants to live in. Create stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. You're going to learn a lot about rethinking and shifting perspective from one of the most informative and transformational people on the planet in just a few minutes. So she was creating the kind of world she wants to live in. Now, when you do rethinking, you have to understand that the 6 most important words you'll ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life become part of you, and they will help you understand how to do the shift. And these 6 words are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Now, before we bring on Natasha, I don't want to embarrass her, so I'm going to warn everybody in advance that your humble host does use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word for the shock value, and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, grow, free, gift, pray, play, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, yes. FU, capital N, capital N. I know some people raising their hands right away and say, hey, Barry Shore, fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Not in our world. The world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant is spelled FU, capital N, capital N. So after this show, when you see your family and friends, I want you to have a twinkle in your eye and a smile on your face. Remember that stands for, and point your finger and say, FU, everybody. And remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. Say, what's that all about? I said, well, I listen to Barry Shore, and he wants to teach the world how to FU, capital N, capital N. And it will open up the ability to have a discussion because you'll get their attention. And then you can tell them all the amazing things that you learned today. So before we bring on Natasha, I'm going to urge everybody to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. When you use these 2 most powerful words 3 times a day, consciously and conscientiously, you are going to help yourself, your family, your friends, and all living beings. And these 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank stands for to harmonize and network kindness. To harmonize and network kindness. The Dalai Lama has been quoted as saying, I read in his writings, be kind whenever possible. And he says, always possible. So imagine you walk into your coffee shop and you order your fancy latte. You sit down, somebody brings it to you. You say, thank you. You go to the coffee shop, you order a fancy latte, somebody doesn't bring it to you. You go back to the counter and say, I'm sorry, we forgot, we're busy. You bring it, sit down. Now, the minute goes by, somebody brings you, still say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining out. Somebody holds the door open for you. You say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, somebody slams the door on you. You still say, thank you. You're in traffic, you're late for an appointment, and somebody cuts you off. You say, thank you. You get to the middle of the night, and you stub your toe and it hurts. You say, thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. I can't think of anybody that's more kind. Kind stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. Nobody that inspires noble deeds more than the amazing, wonderful, fantastic Natasha. Welcome, Natasha. Please say hello to 363,282 people around the world.
Hello, hello, hello. That was the most awesome intro I've ever heard on a podcast. You are seriously cool. And what a story. I mean, wow, we can learn a lot from you. And yes, we can also harmonize kindness in everything we do. So thank you so much for having me today. Thank you.
And wow, who you are. The title of this program, of this show with you, is called Woman of Wonder. That's what you are. Wow.
I love that. And I love all the acronyms. Smile and fun. And here we are with wow, women of wonder. I think I can get used to that, Barry. I like that.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun. By the way, if I start telling you all the things about wonderful Natasha and who she is, what she does, we'll take up the rest of the show. So I'm going to suffice to say that she's the #1 female motivational speaker under 40 in the world, according to a small magazine called Forbes. We won't even go there because really what she's doing here is her purpose for being and being with us today is she's a channel of goodness. She's a cog, a child of God. So we're going to discuss some things that, again, this is not for information. This is transformation. See, there's a lot of information out there. This is transformational. And we'll talk about it because of her amazing book. And by the way, everything you want to know about Natasha, just go to the website, barryshore.com, and it'll all be there. You don't have to write anything there. Just lean in and let it flow around you, through you, and around you, and do everything so you can just pick it up. You can listen later and share this with 5 people, because you share with 5 people, will touch 1.5 million people. So just go to www.whatawonderfulworld.barryshore.com. So let's just jump right in. Wonderful, amazing Natasha, who, by the way, is in Canada, has a British accent, comes originally from the former Soviet Union, is beautiful, bountiful, beloved, and immortal. And we're going to start right away with mindfulness. So just, you're the expert. Let's talk about mindfulness and share with us your understanding of it and how to enable people to get closer to it.
Oh, so powerful. Barry, I love that. Mindfulness. It says it all in the word. It's all about having fullness of the mind, understanding how you are at the center of your world. Like you so beautifully said, the reason that people even listen to this show, to this podcast, is to put themselves first. That's what mindfulness is, putting yourself first, deciding I am at the forefront of my life and I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. Because if you don't feel good, you have nothing to pour out onto other people. If you don't feel good, how can you show up with a glass half full? You're going to have nothing to overflow onto other people. You've got to spill out your love, your kindness, your goodness, your graciousness onto other people. But you've got to be full first. So what are you listening to every day? What are you ingesting? What are you watching? What are you reading? Every single one of these 4 things I'm talking about are so powerful because they are going into your subconscious mind and wiring it, whether you like it or not.
You just heard one of the most beautiful songs you could ever listen to. That's why I'm urging you to just listen again. I would urge you to listen at least 3 times and share those other people. What she just did was a riff. Do you play an instrument, by the way, wonderful Natasha?
Yeah, I do. I'm a pianist. I love playing the piano.
What we just did together was this was a jazz duet. So I was doing it, you were doing piano, and you just talked about people, about what you read, what you think, what you ingest, digest, and bring out to the world. So tell us about your full mind. When you came out of the womb, were you like this? Or did you go through process to get here?
I was exactly as you see right now. I was who I am today. However, I was always wanting to be out in front. I was always wanting to use my voice, but I didn't know I would be a motivational speaker, a mindset coach. I had no idea. So I tried to use my voice in other ways and failed. I tried to use what I thought were my talents, which in fact just dissipated and disappeared because they weren't for me. When something is not truly yours, it will leave you. If something is truly yours, it will stay with you. And so I've always been bubbly. I've always been excited by life. I've always been this way, as they call it, with energy like this. However, I have learned through having the most amazing toolbox in life and going through the most horrendous trials and tribulations, an illness, having no money, being broke, in debt, tens of thousands, pretty much homeless. Through all of these things, I have basically learned this new toolbox to be able to have an upbeat, positive energy all the time, no matter what we go through, being able to pause in moments where we'd usually be reactive and in fact be proactive. And I've learned to say thank you, like you say, to situations. I never let a bad experience go to waste.
So let's unpack some of what you said, because it was just so a little bit of bass on those 88s. That's what a piano is in jazz talk, 88s. You were in debt. You were almost homeless. You did have difficulties in life, challenges. The genius of what Natasha is sharing is that not that she is capable of rising above, but that you are capable of rising above. When you understand what your tool set is, then nothing can stop you. There is no force in the world that can stop a positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant energy. Is that fair to say, Natasha?
100%. If you are dedicated to your mission, your goal, your purpose, there is no external energy that can come in and take it from you, because it's yours. It belongs to you. So every day, it's just your duty to wake up and wholeheartedly go for it and believe it. There's so many different quotes and poems and scriptures, and it doesn't matter where you look, it says the same. If you believe that what you ask for in prayer, it shall happen. It will happen. What you truly believe in, what you put out into this invisible substance, is what Wallace D. Wattles from The Science of Getting Rich calls it. And Joseph Murphy also talks about something very similar, the invisible substance all around us. It's like an energy, sacred geometry. It's all around us, whether we know it or like it or not. And what happens is, when we put out our thoughts into this invisible substance, naturally, every thought has a frequency, whether it's truly negative, truly positive, it has a frequency. And when we put that out into the invisible substance around us, the universe, just externalize it. As soon as we do that with a strong feeling behind it, that's the translation to the universe. The feeling behind it, again, whether it's super positive or super negative, it will come to fruition, because you are imprinting what you want through a thought, a frequency, a feeling, and it becomes a reality.
It becomes a reality. And it has to happen, by the way, because, as she said, unlimited potential. That is what UP stands for. You are unlimited potential. The sacred geometry.
You are, and you give birth to it. We give birth to every thought we have, everything. This microphone, somebody gave birth to it. This podcast, you gave birth to it. We are literally the divine feminine in all of us. We are all giving birth to something all the time, everything. It's a very deep way of looking at life, but it's very real.
It's the best way, because, as we said in the beginning, everybody wants to be happier, healthier, and wealthier, right? So let's take a look at this wonderful word, wealth. And we're going to do a lot of fun together. Wonderful, Natasha. So, by the way, I happen to love the name Natasha. Obviously, it's Russian, but it's an Natasha. I mean, you got that whole rhythm of Natasha.
You are a whole lot of fun, Barry. I love hanging out with you.
By the way, when was the last time somebody said F you to you and you laughed? I mean, that's the essence of fun.
I know. You blew me away with a capital N. Fun. I mean, it was a totally different.
What WTF? It's now what the fun? You know, so we talked about frequency modulation. And again, you are the frequency. Radio waves always exist, but you're the frequency. You can modulate. That's what FM stands for, frequency modulation. You are in charge. You are in control. You're giving birth. Whatever it is that you want to manifest in this wonderful world is available to you. So if you want wealth, let's take a look at this amazing situation, because the law of life is truly the law. Now, law, when people hear that word, you know what they think of, Natasha? You know, the police cruiser with and they close up with this. In reality, because Natasha taught me this, law stands for love and wisdom. That's the law of life, right? And THE, the law, T stands for transformation, H happens, E easily. You know why? Because it's the law. When you are committed to something and dedicated, it must happen. That is what you've taught people and why people are literally transforming their lives. So let's continue and do a deeper dive into mindfulness. Can you give us one or two pathways to mindfulness? Give us things that, people are, let's say, stuck sometimes. How does one get unstuck?
Oh, I love that. Getting unstuck. Okay, here's a couple of pathways. So, when you feel stuck, the very first thing to do is rewire your brain through unlearning what you know to grow. So, you have to reverse engineer. So, if I feel stuck, it's because my habits, as I stand, as I am today, are not serving the version of me I want to be. So, let's write it down, for example. Who do I want to be in 5 years from now? If you're listening from home, do this right now. It's such a great exercise. I do it all the time. I do it with my top level clients. It's such a great exercise. Who do I want to be in 5 years from now? Okay, and I put that here. And then around that, I will draw out the thoughts of that person. What thoughts would that version of me have? How would they think? They think positively. They think excitedly. They think in a particular way, right? Around that, I draw out my feelings. How would that version of me feel every day? Well, they'd feel abundant. They'd feel healthy. They'd feel wealthy. They'd feel exuberant. They'd feel alive because they are. Okay? And around that, you write the actions that that version of you would have. So, what would they do every day? What would they want to be doing at that stage? Because I can sure as hell tell you, the version of you there in 5 years is very far apart from the version of you today that you're doing if you feel stuck. Because you are not yet that version. But in order to become that version, you have to be it until you become it today. You have to literally become them today, and they will become you. That's pathway one. So decide who you want to be today and become them in your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. The second way to move through feeling stuck, and for me, it's something I've always done since I realized the power of it, is meditation. Meditation will help you to calm your mind, your thoughts, your unstuckness, get it out the way, move it out the way. You can do all kinds of different meditations. I created something called the MBS method, which is meditational behavioral synchronicity. It's a deep guided meditation rooted in neuroscience. And you do it and you get into that alpha state through breathing techniques, special Wim Hof style breathing techniques. Now, when you do this method, when you calm your mind, when you really take a moment to pause, you have the ability to rewire your thought process and become a new version of you. But if you try and do it when your thoughts are racing in this normal beta state, now you're just not going to have that chance. So you have to go quietly down, rewire those pathways, decide who you want to be. And whilst you're doing the exercise, you are realigning the new vision of who you want to be. And then you come out the meditation feeling calmer and more certain about this version of you you are becoming.
I am in love. By the way,
Good.
love is a wonderful acronym that stands for living on vibrant energy.
Yes.
Living on the vibrational plane. So let's go into our deep dive into what you mentioned here. First of all, I trust that whether you're watching or you're listening, that again, do it again, because you want to make these concentric circles that are coming out from that 5-year plan of who you are, who you feel, who you want to be, and understand that you're manifesting that. As you do the exercise, by definition, you are describing you.
You are.
Yeah, you can't be different than what you are going to make that happen. So when you are now going into the MBS and manifesting yourself through a meditation process, depending how you want to pronounce it, then by definition, it is you. It's not Natasha. It's not Barry. You're not here to be Natasha. You're not here to be Barry. You're here to be you, the best you. Because when you're the best you, you make the world a better place. We need you. The world needs you as you. And the genius of getting unstuck in any particular place, and it happens to almost every human being until you learn how to flow with it on a regular basis, that you enjoy this process, because the process of being in meditation, as I was taught by my great masters, that goes back over 3,200 years in a process that I was given over, that the best medication is meditation. And there's only one letter difference, right? Medication goes to meditation. And as my master taught me, the best meditation is medication. So when you are able to do this, by the way, again, you go to the website, barryshore.com, because everything you want to know about wonderful Natasha will be, not everything, but most everything will be there. But also her book, which you must acquire. You must get this book. I'm going to tell you the title, Be It Until You Become It. Right. It is, of course, informational transformation. It's transformational. That's who she is. She is the essence of transformation. Now, I want to make certain that everybody understands on this title, there is a somewhat misleading term in the world that used to be said a lot, and we try not to say it anymore because I believe it has the incorrect connotation. We used to say, fake it until you make it. Now, Natasha purposely took that phrase and understood it in its more correct way, which is to be it until you become it. Is that fair to say? Oh, I didn't read the subtitle.
Oh, you got it. You've nailed it. Become it. Be it until you become it. I didn't like fake it till you make it. I think it's, like you say, the wrong connotations, but I wanted to become it authentically. And I did. And so and anybody can in anything they're doing and anything they want to be. Subtitle, The Law of Attraction Explained Through Neuroscience and Ancient Wisdom.
Woo! Listen to this. Neuroscience, which sounds, by the way, very 21st century, and ancient wisdom. The genius of ancient wisdom is that it's expressive. That's what AWE stands for. Ancient wisdom expressed. That's why we're in awe of something. And neuroscience is using what we have available by the late 20th century and early 21st century to describe the processes that are the substance of ancient wisdom in the most modern terms possible. So be kind enough and give us one or two items from neuroscience that are very scientifically oriented for those people who like that process.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's see it like something you want to attract into your life. You want to attract a particular goal, a particular outcome. So there's a part in your brain called the reticular activating system, and it filters 2 million bits of data every second, colors and sounds and things that you see. And how it works is it shows you anything that you deem as important. Well, what do I deem as important? Anything that you focus your mind on is what your reticular activating system deems as important to you. So if you are focusing on, I just don't feel worthy of finding love, I feel like nobody's ever going to want to stick with me, then guess what? Your reticular activating system is going to show evidence around you in people, events, and places, circumstances to prove that your belief system about not feeling worthy of love is true. But if you change that to, I feel worthy of love. Actually, even if I don't feel it, I'm going to be it. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of being in a happy, harmonious, loving relationship. Guess what? Your reticular activating system shows you evidence around you in people, events, and places to prove that your new belief system is real.
That's called PEP, by the way. People, events, places.
There we go.
You've got to put some pep in your step. People, events, and places. So I'm going to give everybody a little bit of a very graphic illustration of what wonderful Natasha just taught us. Well, let's say you're going to buy a car, and you're looking at a particular model and make of car, and you think, okay, I'm going to get that particular something. So your reticular activator, guess what it does now as you're driving along or walking along? you're going to start noticing, you can say, I'm going to get a yellow Mercedes Benz. Okay, I'm making it up. All of a sudden, your reticular activator is going to start showing you on the freeway and everywhere you go, yellow Mercedes Benz. They're everywhere because your reticular activator is owned by you. You control and direct one of the most powerful processes that has ever existed on the planet. Far more powerful than a rocket sent into space by Elon Musk. Far more powerful than all of Amazon by Jeff Bezos. Far more powerful than the Niagara Falls. That's how powerful your reticular activator is. And on that high note, wonderful, Natasha, we're going to take a short break because we have people that love the show, that advertise, and people use what we advertise. So we're going to take a quick break. Be right back. Buckle up. There's more of this amazing being called Natasha, Natasha. Be right back after this brief message. Opportunity. What an opportunity. I'm going to use 2 4-letter words right now. Free gift. Free gift. Yes, you can have a copy of my best-selling book, The Joy of Living, How to Slay Stress and Be Happy, the ebook version for absolutely free. All you have to do is send an email to me, Barry, Barry, at barryshore.com, and in the heading, the subject line, just write free gift. It's as easy as that. This is a life-changing, life-enhancing opportunity. Barry at barryshore.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Free gift. Do it now. Take the action. Make it happen right now. Best wishes. Bye. Imagine the kind of place you would want to shop for your favorite fur baby pet. HonestPets.co. Well, you found it. HonestPets.co. Not .com, .co. This is your go-to spot for the best, the cleanest pet treats that exist anywhere on the planet. All of the brands go through a rigorous review to make sure they meet the high standards of cleanliness, health benefits, and naturalness. This site was started by a husband and wife team, and it's veteran-owned, and that care about pets, especially dogs and cats, and coming soon, bird treats. These are very nice young people who really care about making a difference because a portion of proceeds go to support veteran organizations with a focus on service dogs. This is the place where you want to go. You want to tell your friends this has the finest, yummiest, freshest, all-natural treats and stuff for your fur baby. So go there, honestpets.co. honestpets.co. Do it now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. And we found good and an amazing two-legged being named wonderful Natasha Graziano. Our cup runneth over with good. Okay, we left our intrepid hero, the amazing, wonderful Natasha, giving us some insight in neuroscience on the reticular activator and enabling you to get your PEP in place, your people, events, and place, and your yellow Mercedes Benz or yellow whatever you want. So again, let's talk about this law of attraction and how it works. I love the word law, by the way, because it's so important. Again, law in our vocabulary stands for love and wisdom. Because when you live in that vibration of love and wisdom, everything happens organically. It's a law. Now, by the way, I said before, two words, the law, THE, transformation happens easily, law, love and wisdom. You take those same 6 letters, Natasha, and rearrange them, and they spell the word wealth, WEALTH. Jaw-dropping, huh? What do you think of that one, kid?
Oh my God, I love it. Your acronyms and the way that you play with words is just addictive. You need to create your own Scrabble board.
Well, we do actually. I have the Joy Dictionary, which you're going to be contributing to, over 500 words at this point, and we're putting out, because the joy vocabulary is how people think. You want to think in good, speak in good, and act in good. And guess what? Woo, you flow. Okay, so let's go deeper into something else, which I think is if there is somebody that exudes what I call the C word, it be you. Confidence.
That was so good. I was like, where's that going?
One, develop, increase, make part of their very being confidence.
Well, confidence comes from within, not from without. Confidence is something that you are, not what you think you are. It's what you deeply, truly believe about yourself. But do you want to know the secret? It doesn't matter whether it's true or not, it's whether you believe it. So if you truly believe that you are good enough, that you are worthy, that you are fun enough, lovable enough, all the things that create confidence, if you truly believe you're confident, even if it's not true, it will become true. Confidence is so fun because it enables you to be and do anything you want. It enables you to walk into a room and dominate it, to influence, to own it. Have you ever seen somebody walk into a room and they literally light up the place and you don't know who they are? You've never seen them before. You think they're a celebrity, a star? Turns out they are. Or maybe they're not. Again, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's whether they believe it. And they made you believe it. We influence others like cells in our body. We can influence ourselves through our thoughts. Water. Dr. Isaru Emoto did an experiment. He proved that human consciousness influences the structure of water. We are water. We influence ourselves through what we think. It's why some of us have great health and others don't. We influence it through our thoughts. We influence everything we are through our thoughts. When I was ill, when I had a sickness, an autoimmune disease, a hyperactive thyroid, it was so bad. I was on heart medication. A lot of it, I was bedbound. Most people don't even experience a thyroid at that level, but I did. And when I went through it, it made me realize it was all the negative thoughts that were penetrating my body. And I thought I was positive. Well, I was 75% of the time, but 25% I was negative. And I thought that the universe just closed its eyes for that 25%. But no, the universe doesn't say, oh, I'll just close my eyes whilst you have that really negative thought about yourself, whilst you self-sabotage and while you're a not nice human to somebody else. I'll just close my eyes for all of that stuff. No, the universe's eyes are always open. It's everywhere around us. We are the universe. So we are penetrating our being with what we are and who we are. And I was penetrating my being with not an entirely positive thing. And that's okay because I realized it. But it took me to go to the lowest of low to get there. So hopefully we can help you today to end your personal suffering, whatever that might be, through helping you along the way with your journey to relief and peace. And this is just the start. Confidence is the key to certainty. It's the key to an abundant life.
This could be the start of something big. So I want to unpack a few things here, and I'm going to show you something that's going to make your eyes light up, your arms go in the air, you're going to maybe even raise up out of your chair and start dancing around the room. So you said this, something that everybody knows intuitively, but until you said it, Natasha, you don't really feel it, because why? We are 79% plus minus water. And we know something about water. We know, as you said, the famous experiments that were done by a remarkable Japanese scientist about water and about harmony. So I want to show you something that I do for my water bottles. I have on my desk and everywhere that I use a water bottle. And I want you to see the two words. Could you read out the two words that are on this water bottle? What does that word say? Can you read it? Does it say love? Oh, you went mute.
Oh, sorry. There we go. It says love.
Love. And the other
LOVE.
word is?
Gratitude.
So I wrap my water bottles in love and
Oh my
gratitude
God, that is
because
so
it
beautiful.
influences the water. It influences me. My home work environment is filled with love and gratitude.
It is so real. So do you do that every day? Do you inject thoughts of gratitude into the water and then
Absolutely, for the water, every water bottle in the house has this. And people who follow me, and I've influenced many thousands of people to wrap their water bottle. I would urge you to wrap your coffee cup or your teacup in these words, love and gratitude, because, well, those are the words that animate me. You can choose whatever you want, but love and gratitude animates the world, doesn't it?
gosh, that's so powerful. We did a rice experiment. Have you heard about the rice experiment when you can have yeah, that's what it is. Oh goodness, it's so powerful. I can't believe that you do that. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm sharing with you, because you said something about the idea of truth.
Yes.
TRUTH, total reliance upon the hidden. You see, all of this about confidence, nobody else has to see it. It's you. And when the inner being of you, as you said, it's an inside out process, or process, as you would say. When you total reliance upon the hidden, when you're confident, you radiate. I mean, let's be blunt. Right now, I'm looking at one of the most beautiful women on the planet. Okay, you know that, but you've sculpted yourself that way. It's not just that you're physically beautiful, which you are. You're radiant because your being radiates.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
My cells radiated. I
Yes.
feel, I love everywhere I go to elevate somebody, whether I'm elevating them in a coffee shop, as a conversation, a stranger in the park. It doesn't matter who I come across. I want to aim to elevate them. If I can elevate them, it means that I've done my job as a human that day.
Right. Because you are a human being, as you say in your book. Be it until you become it. You're a human being. And I'm going to say one 3-letter word, and watch everybody who's watching. You're going to see Natasha, just her eyes will brighten up. Ready? It's a 3-letter word. Rio. Okay, that
Oh,
was inside baseball stuff. But the point is that you can use words to create a benefit for yourself, your family, your friends, and the entire world. Like we said before, use thank you consciously and conscientiously 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life, because that vibration of saying thank you consciously and conscientiously makes a difference in the world. So let's now go and talk about. I'd like to mention, only because, oh, come on, let's drop names. You've been on the same stage with Michelle Obama. You've been on the same stage with the big O, Oprah Winfrey. I just, please make mention of what it is that you think makes you, Natasha, that being that is attracting this remarkable flow of energy in the world that is enlightening, illuminating, and energizing others.
you know what makes people unique and authentic in their way and energizing in such a level, right? Is that we are our own human. We are our own story, our own journey. And that is so important and so powerful. You may think that it's not valuable, it's not worthy of being heard, but it is. Like you said earlier, we need you. My energy, my unique flair, my glow, the words, the way I use my words is what makes me me. And the journey that I have been through, the trials, the storms, the things I've had to weather and go through are what make me who I am today. And I'm not perfect by any means. My God, I'm far from it. I've done so many things I'm not proud of, but so many things that I am. And I cling on to the things that I am proud of, because if you knew where I had come from, you would be proud of me too. you know? And just to let you know, I haven't spoken on stage with those two yet. I've spoken on stage with Mark Cuban and Grant Cardone and John Assaraf, of course, and many others, etc. But the interesting thing is, you listening right now can also speak on stage with these people. You can also get to that place. And do you know how? It is so simple. A, believe it. B, take action and decide, I want to do this. Set yourself a goal and break it down into smaller goals. If you stand looking up at a mountain, it looks enormous and you will be terrified. When I stand and I look up and I think, my God, look at the size of that I got to get over, I would run from it. But if I pause and just take one step every day, get 1% better. If I take one step up the mountain, a few steps along, I'm already a third of the way in. And if I look back down, do you know how far I've come? Do you know how far you have come? All of a sudden, the mountain is just a series of smaller steps that you need to overcome.
I am so happy that you're here sharing with us. Share is a wonderful acronym, wonderful Natasha. Spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy.
That's beautiful.
This is profound because it's so doable. See, everything that Natasha is discussing here, and again, we're talking about the #1 female motivational speaker in the world under 40 years of age. We're talking about moving forward, a step at a time. It's a step. Everybody can take a step. Even people like me who are paralyzed. Okay, I couldn't take a step for years, but I could take a step in my mind. I just share with you, people who've listened for years now understand what I'm talking about. For 2 years, I was in a hospital bed in my own home. I couldn't turn over. I couldn't move. My vision every day was to be able to sit up and put my feet over the edge of the bed. It took me 2 years to do it, but I did it because I kept visualizing it. Now, it still takes me 10 minutes to get out of bed in the morning today. And those of you watching, for you, Natasha, I can't sit up from this chair right now. I'm still paralyzed basically from the waist down. But you see my arms, I'm moving, and I swim. It's a whole other story. But I swim now 2 miles a day, 6 days a week. Yes. And I'm a third of the way around the world, 8,804 miles. But that we'll discuss another time. The point is that I want to share with everybody what Natasha is saying is not just words. When she uses the word action, that is the sign of a winner. When she says decide, that is the sign of a winner. Your ability to decide and to believe creates the environment around you, outside of you, that is emanating from inside of you. Is it difficult to go out and face the world sometimes? Well, hello. But guess what? If you go outside your door when it's tough, well, it gets easier. And just take a step, one step at a time to climb a mountain. I'd like to ask you to, if you'd be kind enough, to go back to MBS, because I'm not just a believer in meditation. I know it works. By the way, one of the wealthiest human beings on the planet at this moment is a man named Ray Dalio, D-A-L-I-O. He's the head of one of the largest hedge funds in the world, multi-billions of dollars. He just made himself emeritus in his firm, but he credits his remarkable success over decades to one thing. And it's not that he was smarter than anybody else, but he said, look, there are a lot of smart people out there. It wasn't that he was more aggressive than anybody else, because he says many more people more aggressive than I was. He attributes it to meditation. A man who has amassed multi-billions of dollars, if people like that kind of stuff, which, hey, by the way, was very nice, right? I'd like you to go a little deeper, if you'd be so kind, wonderful Natasha, into MBS.
Okay, here we go. And wow, I love that he is one of many who use meditation and attribute success, bettering their health, many different things that they've been through in their life to meditation. I have to say, I personally found meditation a healer for what I was going through. It helped me heal my illness that I had at the time. And I only speak wonders of meditation. It's actually scientifically proven to help raise your immunity, to better your health, to lower your blood pressure. I mean, the incredible physical benefits are so powerful. So that's why I created the MBS. I'll tell you a little story, which you might find interesting, of how the MBS was born. So over a decade ago, I was sent away to a monastery by my parents. They sent me away to Cyprus when I was young. And they said, I was rebellious in school. And they said, you need to go and stay in this monastery, spend time and learn humility. And at the time, I didn't understand why. I rebelled against it. I hated being there. I was cleaning toilets every day and, being looked after by priests and monks and such like. And I just didn't like it. Now, it's funny because in today where I am, if I was to go somewhere like that, I'd be very humbled and I'd be very much a part of the process. But I didn't see it as a process. I saw it as something I didn't like. Every day I tried to run away. I tried to leave this place I was in. And every day I would leave and walk off into the mountains. I was in the middle of the Troodos Mountains in Cyprus. And I would try and find a bus stop because I knew there was a bus stop where we got dropped off. So I'd look for it and I couldn't find it. I was like, why can't I find it? Of course, the universe was playing tricks on me. And I'd try and go. And every time I gave up. And on one of the days, I tried to escape and I looked over onto like a small mountain hill thing near where I was. And I could see this man, this old man. He looked like an older yogi. He was topless, very tanned, leathery skin. And he was doing this exercise. His chest was going in and out like this. And it was very interesting. And as I watched him, I saw the way he was moving. And it fascinated me. I could see he was doing some kind of breathing technique. So I would watch him for a couple more days. And one day I got close enough where he could obviously hear me rustling around and see me. And he said, come over. I've seen you. And every day, it was so bizarre. I thought he and I had no idea that I was there or existed. Anyway, I joined him and I learned, and he taught me how to breathe. He taught me what he called ancient breathing techniques that have been passed down from his great-grandfather, from his great-grandfather and his great-grandfather. It was so incredible. And it's been passed down for many years, pranayama breathing. And as he told me, Natasha, the breath can either heal you or kill you. And it fascinated me because it made me see the breath as something other than just a necessity that we do naturally. It made me appreciate the breath, every inhale and every exhale. So I learned to breathe. I learned many different techniques. Now, I learned it, went back to the monastery I was in and finished my week. Over a decade on, maybe, something around that anyway, when I had the illness, I was looking for a way of healing. I'd given up all hope. I was suicidal. I didn't know what else to do. And in those times when I thought, I've lost me, I've lost what I called my full sparkle. You see, if you lose your sparkle, you lose you. You were asking earlier what makes you so unique. It's your own sparkle. We each have it. But if you lose it, like when you have the flu, when you don't feel great, when perhaps, God forbid, you have an illness, any one of these things, these are what make you lose that sparkle. And you don't feel like you anymore. You just want to get back to normality and what you knew. But I was saying, I just want to be who I was before. But I realized the universe was putting me in a pressure cooker because it didn't want me to be who I was before. It wanted me to be somebody else. So I was hunting for cures. And how do I get out of this until I realized the root cause? Through meditation, I needed to let go of something I was holding on to. Resentment. Resentment is scientifically proven to actually cause ailments in the body. And so I listened to the call of the universe. And then one day I was finding it hard to meditate, particularly what I was going through. It makes your thoughts race at 1,000,000 miles per second. It's very hard to calm the mind. And I wondered, what could I do to help me to meditate better? And I found the address of this lovely ancient yogi who, old yogi, I call him my ancient yogi friend, who I thought was 70 years old. I mean, he looked 70 years old. Anyway, turns out he was 104 years old. And I wrote to him. He received my letter. And we managed to get on a video call. It took some time, but by the time we did, it was mind-blowing, because what he then showed me was how to breathe again. And through that breathing, instead of me closing the laptop, shutting it down when I'd finished breathing with him, instead what I did was I would do the breathing and I would go into a deep guided meditation for the rest of the hour. And in that time, I realized, there and behold, was born a new way, the MBS method, meditational behavioral synchronicity. So you start with breathing, not normal sort of calmer inhale, longer exhale. It's very much high tempo breathing, okay? Like this. So when you mix that, you go right up into a really high state. You almost get high on your own breath. And when you're in that high, altered state of awareness, naturally now your mind is free of those racing thoughts, and it is able to calm and take you down into the alpha state. So now when you meditate, you're already tenfold deeper than you ever were. You're able to access your higher mind faculties, go into the alpha and the theta state of being, of mind state, and there you can rewire the brain properly. You can literally do mind surgery on yourself. You can remove the limiting belief, the main one limiting belief that has blocked you all this time from achieving the main goal you want to achieve. For me at the time, it was health. How to get rid of that? You work out what is blocking you, what is inside of you, remove it, replace it with a new belief about yourself, and then come out of the meditation. And you do anchoring while you're there. That's part of it. You really impress it into your subconscious mind. There are many different points that go into this meditation. But once you understand how to do it, it can transform your life, as it did for me and many others.
Wonderful, Natasha. I have 3 questions for you. You can't believe it, but our time is ready for 3 questions?
I'm ready.
Number 1, will you come back again?
And 100%.
Number 2, you have only 80 seconds to answer this question, wonderful Natasha. What is your most fervent desire?
Okay, my most important desire to me is to help others to live a life of joy and end their personal suffering, the same way that I was able to and help so many others. I want to reach 1 billion people and help them live a life of joy.
Okay, the third, may I give you a hug in front of 366,827 people around the world?
I would love that.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1,
Wow.
2, 3. You're hearing and listening to one of the most transformational moments that you've ever experienced in your life on The Joy of Living with humble host Barry Shore. And you tuned in again for the most important reason of all, for you to become the best you. Natasha, as wonderful she is, but it's Natasha. Barry, as wonderful he is Barry. This is all about you. And you use the 3 fundamentals of life. Number 1, your life has purpose. When you lead a purpose-driven life, you go mad. Mad stands for make a difference. And 3 is unlock the power and the sequence of everyday terms like WWW, what a wonderful world. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day. As my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. And you will be happier, healthier, and wealthier. We guarantee it. And then you can create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking. You've been hearing all about it. Enabling all to excel. Use 4-letter words. But remember, positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Love, life, hope, free, grow, mind, swim, pray, play. Fun, F-U, capital N. So after the show, we see your family and friends. You have a twinkle in your eye, smile on your face, point your finger, say, F-U, everybody, capital N, capital N. People say, what are you talking about? We say, I listen to Barry Shore. He wants to teach the world to F-U, capital N, and use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day, every single day, consciously and conscientiously, now the rest of your life. And they are, thank you, thank you, thank you. So our blessing from Natasha and Barry is, go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Natasha, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.